Paper Time Machine is a book that will change the way you think about the past. It's a collaboration between Wolfgang Wild, the creator and curator of Retronaut, and Jordan Lloyd of Dynamichrome, a company that has taken the craft of colour reconstruction to a new level. The book will contain over 100 images, chosen and introduced by Wolfgang and restored and rendered into colour by Jordan and his team. So realistic are the results that the decades and centuries that separate us from the subjects of these images simply fall away. It is as though we are standing next to the photographer. We all dream of being able to revisit the past. The Paper Time Machine will make it possible.
So a lot of people watching this clip will be in the same situation as me, in as much as they've seen a lot of colorized images online. But your work spoke to me in a different way. Yours was exceptional. What's the difference between what you do and most of the pictures we've seen?
So I like to think the difference of what I do really comes down to the details. Reality is essentially built up over many different layers. So some people might do 3-4 layers, I do about 16 to 20, and all of that together then builds up this illusion that it's more real. We'll scour collectors' websites, eBay, whatever, to get hold of these amazing real-life examples of the original artifact. And what you're left with, once you've taken into account all the lighting and atmospheric conditions, is what I think a very authentic sense of what the photographer was looking at through the viewfinder. I think one of the most important questions is, why do we want to add colour to the historical record in the first place? In the past, when you had these amazing artisans doing it by hand, the intrinsic motivation was, we have this limitation, which is the photographic technology cannot render this scene in colour, therefore we will manually paint it in by hand in order to make it a more commercially viable prospect. And so I think there's a difference, especially in the eras that we're looking at, from about 1850 to just after World War II, where really the vast majority of photographs were in black and white because it was a limitation of the technology at the time. In that case, I think digital colour reconstruction is fair game. If the original photographer or the people commissioning it had access to colour technology at the time, you can be sure they would have used it.
What I think makes the book especially compelling is we take these retronautic images and then I'm not sure how you do it, and it looks like some strange, bizarre wizardry, but somehow you are able to transform these into colour. Can you give me an overview of the process?
So colour reconstruction is essentially a modern interpretation of a craft that has been around nearly as long as photography. And I think what makes it quite special now is this sort of blend of modern technology with the source material, these original historical artifacts. It's a several stage process. So the first stage is we take the picture and then we restore the photograph to its original condition. The second step is that we then do all of our original historical research. So if there's a particular item of clothing, we go look up period clothing or a brand. If it's a particular sign, we go find the sign. Third step is we then block in all of the colour, and for every single detail. The fourth step is then matching that research with the blocked in colour to make it authentic. And then the final step is then to get everything looking correct in terms of the atmosphere and the lighting of the original photograph.
When I see your pictures in reconstructed colour, the time is wiped away, and what we see is not a past that is dusty and sepia. We see a past which is technicolor and alive and high resolution and just as real as we are today in this present moment. And for me, I am propelled back in time.